In this video, we will review how to create staff and staff groups that use the Shift Manager scheduler. Before we create staff and staff groups, let's take a look at departments. Staff groups are linked to departments. We will need to ensure that there are departments eligible for the Shift Manager scheduler before we can link a staff group. This will determine which staff members will be uploaded to Shift Manager. Select an existing department or create a new department as required. In the General tab, enter a quick access code and a description. Note that the scheduler option will be defaulted to the Jonas scheduler. I will show you shortly how to adjust this. Make sure the active field is flagged. In the Job Codes tab, flag any job codes that should be attached to the department. If you need to create additional job codes specifically for the Shift Manager department, you can do so in the Job Codes program. Select Save to save your changes. Once you know which departments you want synced with Shift Manager, navigate to the Integrations program and select Shift Manager. In the Shift Manager tab and Department sub-tab, flag which departments should be uploaded to Shift Manager. Select Save. You will receive a pop-up informing you that once you select Yes, a sync to Shift Manager will take place to process the changes. When you navigate back to the Departments program and refresh the screen, you will notice that the Schedule option will update to the Shift Manager scheduler. Once you save, the changes will now sync over to Shift Manager. Now that you've determined which departments will sync with Shift Manager, let's look at staff groups. Staff groups allow you to set rules applicable to large numbers of staff at one time. A staff group is required when creating a new staff account, so it is highly recommended to set up some of your most common staff groups, for example, event staff, tennis staff, etc., before creating staff accounts. Select an existing group to make edits to it, or select New to create a new group. Many of the staff group settings can be overridden at the staff account level, so you'll want to apply settings for the majority of staff who will be part of this group, then override per staff account as needed. In the General tab, enter a description for the group with a max of 40 characters. Set the Scheduler option to Shift Manager. Note that the Scheduler option will be disabled if any Jonas Scheduler departments are marked as eligible in the Department/Job tab for this group. If this group works on closed days, flag the Can Be Scheduled on Closed Days field. Ensure the active field is flagged. Marking a group as inactive will remove all future shifts that the staff are scheduled for in Shift Manager, if applicable. Since this staff group will not be using the Jonas scheduler, you do not need to fill out any of the booking module tabs. The Department/Jobs tab can be used to restrict a staff group to specific department and/or job codes using the eligible column in the respective subtabs. You can set a default department or job code for the staff group if desired. Just make sure you only assign departments and job codes that are using the Shift Manager scheduler option. Once you've configured all of the applicable settings, select Save and repeat this process to set up all applicable staff groups to utilize the Shift Manager scheduler. Now we can set up staff. You will need a staff account for any staff member that will be clocking in and out of Shift Manager. Select an existing staff account to make edits to it, or select New to create a new account. In the General tab, enter the staff's first and last name. Optionally enter a display name with a max of 5 characters and identify the staff's gender. Select the applicable staff group. Just make sure it's a staff group that is set to the Shift Manager scheduler option. And ensure the active field is flagged. If this staff is linked to an Encore user, select that user from the dropdown. You can optionally override the staff group setting of whether the staff can be scheduled on closed days or not. Use the Address and Contact tab to optionally fill out this staff's address details and contact information. Use the Dates tab to optionally identify the staff's birth date, hire date, and last date. Set the last date far into the future, for example 2050, if there is no last date. Since this staff group will not be using the Jonas scheduler, you do not need to fill out any of the booking module tabs. In the Time Tracker tab, flag the first 2 fields and enter a login name. This login name will be mapped to Shift Manager as the employee ID. In this example, we have entered the employee's member number. In the Department/Jobs tab, you can override the staff group department codes and job code setting specific to the staff, as long as the department and job code selected have been set to use the Shift Manager Scheduler option. Use the Notes tab to provide any additional information about this staff. Once you have configured all of the applicable settings, select Save and repeat this process to set up all applicable staff. Lastly, let's take a look at how to view which staff will be uploaded to Shift Manager. You can confirm which staff have synced to Shift Manager in the Staff tab. The Exceptions tab will display staff that are ineligible to be uploaded to Shift Manager. This includes staff who have been set to use the Jonas Scheduler and will be scheduled directly in the staff scheduling programs in Encore for the booking modules. If you do not want to upload a staff member to Shift Manager that is using the Shift Manager Scheduler option, for example, they are seasonal staff and not currently being scheduled, you can deactivate that staff member in their staff account in Encore, then reactivate them once they are ready to be scheduled. You can also change a department that is no longer eligible for Shift Manager over to the Jonas Scheduler by unchecking it from the included list and saving. Just make sure you go over to the Departments tab and switch that back over to the Jonas Scheduler. From here, all staff groups and staff connected to this department will not upload to Shift Manager. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more how-to videos and don't forget to subscribe.